got.
So small goals. All right.
Setting these bars real low.
Hey, I'll.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast, with your hosts, Connor O'Neill and Matthew Hughes.
Happy New Year 2025
It's here.
is upon us.
Quick. It was fast.
2024 flew by.
It really did. But yeah, hope everyone had a happy New Year. We're starting off
Happy
bright,
holidays, the whole shebang.
bright and early.
Bright and early.
First day.
First day.
Here we are.
Good
We're
morning,
already ready.
star
We're starting
shine.
off. No breaks.
No breaks.
No, we get the train keeps on chugging
January
along.
1st, we're here. And yeah, this is also kind of a tradition now that we've done for the twice we've done this. I
Yes,
guess.
it is. It's our first video version, I guess. If we want to say that.
What?
But yeah, this is gonna be our kind of yearly recap. Some things we like, some things we're looking forward
so
to.
good.
So a little bit of combination of the past and the present and the future.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, kind of hope your holidays were good.
Yes, sir. No complaints. No complaints.
complaints, me
Had some
neither.
days off. Very.
Those are always nice.
Yeah, got to hang out with some family, eat some good food,
Trucking along through a lot of shifts at my work, but you know,
making that money.
making that money. But yeah, so hi everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Comment below what your New Year's was like. If you have any New Year's resolutions,
Yeah, if you have New
Let
Year's
us
resolutions,
know.
what you're excited for this year.
did you get anything cool for Christmas?
Did you get anything cool for Christmas? If you
Any
celebrate it.
holidays, you know?
And yeah, what was your favorite thing of 2024?
Boom. Let's start Nerdy Misfit wise. Top things of 2024 for me in our little group here. Probably the two biggest ones.
The two biggest ones. Video
Video
format.
format.
Video format.
Huge. I'm so happy we had some different guests on. Sorry.
He's
Oh,
dying.
one of them was a VTuber. Obviously, Gray. That's a
Yes,
big
we've
one.
had VTuber on, and our biggest guest, which was
Tekken 101.
We were really happy to have him on. Super nice guy. If you haven't checked out that episode, you should definitely check it out if you're into One Piece and anime content. But really nice guy. You'd be shocked at how easy it was to get him on.
Yeah.
There was no begging. Just a really
No, just here's
sent
an email.
asked
Let
them,
us know.
very professional like.
And then here you go.
And he's just a really nice guy, and he was just like, I'd be down. And it was very easy.
Super easy. A lot of fun.
I feel like we probably could have recorded a podcast with him for like 5 hours.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
how
We
easy
could
it
have
was-
just kept
Yeah,
talking.
that's how easy it was to
you know?
talk to him. So big shout outs to Tekking for coming on. He really didn't have to, and he was
We appreciate
totally
it.
down for coming on. So we really do appreciate that. But yeah, starting video format. Not without its hiccups for sure.
Here we are.
We
Different lighting now these days.
Yeah, we still do have hiccups, and we will still be trying to slowly evolve the podcast. Obviously, we don't make money on the podcast.
Exactly.
It's all of our own money that goes into it, so it's kind of a passion project, if you will. So as much as we would love to be able to have our own set, have nice cameras, maybe
Mhm.
2 nice cameras for different angles, at the moment, just not possible.
And this is what
And-
we got. And I think our setup's good. I like our setup.
I don't hate it. There are obviously things that I would love to improve, but maybe over time.
One day.
And just different styles. We're gonna try different things out for different normal like series we have.
Yeah.
Just try different things. Matt's played around. I don't know if you guys have noticed on the anime of the anime previews. Sorry,
Mhm.
with popping up the anime we're looking at instead of just having
talking
a
about
screen of it.
Yeah.
So we'll try things like that and see how you guys think.
And let us know what
if it looks
you
good or
think
not.
works, what doesn't work, et cetera, et cetera. A couple other big things from this year for me personally too is numbers. Obviously you have here in your notes we reached over 500 subs, which is crazy.
Yep.
I think another big thing too is we hit 100 episodes last year,
100 episodes.
which to me is crazy because
yeah.
I have commitment issues.
I
So the fact that
won't tell your girlfriend that.
yeah, thanks. I hope she doesn't listen to this episode. I think for us personally, I think that's huge because it's not huge that I have commitment issues. It's huge that we hit 100 episodes. But
I
on
think
top
just
of that, like
consistent. It's-
consistency have not missed a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's not just the 100 episodes. It's the going on 3 years. We're going to be hitting 3 years of the podcast, right?
It's
So
just crazy. An
3
idea
years
we had
straight.
almost 10 years ago.
that we finally did, and turns out we could do it.
We could
We just had to commit.
commit to the bit. Commitment issues, you know?
But yeah, it's been nice. We do obviously have goals. Hit 1,000 subs for 2025 would
That's
be
the
nice.
plan.
Obviously, a big one would also just be to just get the community more involved in general, get more comments, get more engagement. And a big way that we're going to be doing that is hopefully by releasing more short form content as well as more snippets of the podcast and more digestible versions, if you will.
We'll get more into that as we go through this episode.
But going on with highlights of the year, we also started the Nerdy Misfits Gaming, where we brought two great lads on with Troy and Eddie.
Yeah. Shout out to
handle
them.
that. Yeah,
Shout
they've
out
been
to
doing
Troy and
great.
Eddie.
Troy's been super consistent, streaming every Tuesday. Even been invited to some fun things that he's turned down for the stream.
Just crazy. Shout out to
So,
Troy for that specifically.
I respect that. I respect that he's like, hey, Tuesdays for streaming on the Nerdy Misfits Gaming, and he's been doing it. And if you love Spider-Man, go check out his Spider-Man streams. He's streaming it right now. He's trying to finish all of Spider-Man 1 and the DLC for Miles Morales before Spider-Man 2 comes out for PC.
Which is crazy.
Which he'll also be streaming. So it's a big Spider-Man extravaganza for December into however long it takes me to finish the Spider-Man 2.
Speaking of that too, we got some shorts coming out on the gaming channel, which is good too. And we got some shorts, not a crazy amount of shorts, but we did some shorts last year.
Yeah, and we'll continue to
grow
produce
on
and
that,
potentially do more. We literally have things in the works.
Yeah,
so
literally can't. We're not joking. There's some stuff in the pipeline.
like
I
recorded.
promise. They're coming.
Recorded. Just it takes time.
Just takes time, you know.
And actually, this is worth mentioning. We finally figured out our buzzing issue.
You hear that? Because I don't. The buzzing issue is. Watch there be a buzzing issue on this.
That would be funny. We have had. Sometimes it's there. Sometimes it's not there. Sometimes it was very faint. Sometimes it was more obvious. Turns out it was actually just the lights we have in the room we record in. So we now just
we don't
turn those annoying things off because we want to be able to hear. We want you to be able to hear, and we don't like having annoying stuff making noises.
Exactly.
So that was really nice to figure out. But yeah, it's been a really good year for the Nerdy Misfits overall. Super fun. A lot of fun content we've produced. We got all the friends involved now as well. And also super fun to have guests on and hope to have more on, both small and big, in the future.
Heck yeah. And last thing before we move on, shout out to a lot of people that helped out with the questions.
Yep.
That's something we don't really do too often, so we're always excited when we get a question in the Discord. Join our Discord if you haven't joined the Discord yet. We have a question corner. Ask us questions. We'll answer them on the podcast.
It's true. We even have a song that we haven't played in a long time. It's waiting.
It's waiting.
It's waiting. You just have
Ask
to join
us
the Discord.
questions.
Link tree in the description.
Exactly. And moving on, Connor, highlights of the year, nerd-wise, movies, TV shows, video games, books, etc.
Yeah, so looking back, first of all, man, a lot of stuff comes out in the year.
Yeah.
Like that you just...
When I was making that list...
You watch it, you like it, and it's gone. It's
move
gone.
on,
There's just so much stuff coming out. We've had a really incredible year for anime. And for me personally, I've watched some shows that didn't even come out this year that I enjoyed. So big one, Apothecary Diaries. We had Frieren, which took the anime world by storm, but it's currently still the highest rated thing on my anime list.
Mm-hmm.
So some great shows. We had Kaiju number 8 had its first season. So we had a lot of great things. Dan to Dan had its first season, and that was incredible. So a lot of great anime you guys can check out from this year.
Outside of anime, we had What If Season 2, Echo Season 1, Percy Jackson Season 1, Avatar The Last Airbender.
Even
episode.
Percy Jackson Season 1 doesn't feel like it was this year.
No, it really doesn't. Tales
like
of the
forever.
Empire,
Tales of the
X-Men
Empire,
97,
yeah.
Acolyte, Deadpool and Wolverine, Agatha All Along, Arcane Season 2. Like, some huge hitters this year.
Yeah,
And
I think
it does not feel like this year.
we'll get more in depth on anime in a future episode. I think we'll even cover some of our favorites from the year.
Yep.
Especially as we get closer to the Crunchyroll Awards, which actually has been pushed back this year. So
Weird,
we'll
but-
probably cover that a little bit later than usual. Probably maybe around the end of the winter season.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
But yeah, what was your favorite show? I guess It's tough to say non-anime because we had stuff like Arcane and
Yeah.
X-Men. But give me, if X-Men, for example, is one of your favorites, give me a live action as well.
Live action as well, eh? Shoot. Okay. I mean, yeah, X-Men 97, it was a nice return of your classic X-Men 90 show. Some good stories in there. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really
It was
good.
really good.
We did a whole episode on it.
Sure did.
And for live action, I feel like this goes with this thing. It's Percy Jackson of the TV shows. Chef's Kiss.
They didn't do it dirty.
They didn't do it dirty, which I was so happy about. I love the actor that plays Percy. He kills it. The entire cast, honestly, does really well.
No, I
definitely
think there were
grows
some
through.
there were some awkward. I think the Annabeth scenes with Percy earlier were not. You can tell there wasn't as good of chemistry, but the chemistry definitely built up
Yeah.
really well throughout. You can almost say it makes sense too, because they obviously
They don't know each other.
they don't know each other,
Literally.
kind of don't like each other
Yeah.
that much at the beginning either. So it worked. I think my favorite show was probably House of the Dragon. If we're going by live action, I was impressed that Last Airbender was not completely god awful. I'm not going to say that it was great because there were definitely issues with it, but it was not bad.
Yeah.
I also think it's worth noting we never watched The Penguin, which is a big drop of the ball by us. It is on a much harder to watch thing for us personally.
Yeah.
But we will probably end up watching it this year. Can't promise a video on it,
No,
but
but
maybe
we'll
we'll
mention
mention it
it
and
for sure,
mention
for
if you
sure.
guys should watch it or not. But definitely want to watch it. Just there's so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I also think like Arcane and X-Men 97 were both great animated shows that
For
came
sure.
out this year as well. Favorite movie? I have two. I have Look Back,
Okay.
which is a one-shot by the Chainsaw Man author.
Yep.
If you guys are unfamiliar, I think it's on.
Amazon Prime, I believe.
Yes,
I want to
well,
say.
at least for us in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And that was by Tatsuki Fujimoto, and just I've already read the one shot previous to the movie, and I know
Yeah.
you have as well.
Yeah.
Just a really
Good.
good story. Hits
the-
hard a bit,
Yeah.
but wow, they did a great job on the movie as well. They kind of added some parts to it too, just to kind of extend some stuff, because obviously it's not the
Mhm.
longest thing. But I thought it was really well done. And then honestly, I did not see many movies this year.
Yeah,
think,
there wasn't a lot of movies that really caught your eye, I think, specifically.
Yeah, I think I haven't gone to see Wicked. I want to, but I don't know if I will end up seeing it
Mm.
before it's out of theaters. But I will probably end up watching it. I'll probably end up liking it. I'm a pretty big musical fan. Not gonna lie, I enjoy a musical. So,
You enjoy a good musical.
but Deadpool and Wolverine is probably my favorite. Highly, everyone wanted to see it. Everyone wanted to see Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman
Mm-hmm.
together.
Well, did you like Dune Part 2? Did you end up watching Dune
Oh,
Part 2?
did that come out this year?
Pretty sure it did. Did it not?
I don't know. I didn't do as much research into my movies. Like I said, things just.
February 28th.
Then Dune is right up there too. I was on a huge Dune kick
Sure.
after Dune 2. But yeah, I'd say Dune 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine, completely different style films, so that kind of
Mhm.
works. Yeah, Dune 2, really well done, really enjoyable. Wow, seeing that in IMAX as well, with the sound and the whole, that was an experience for sure. I would highly recommend if that is ever in a theater, like an IMAX theater near you guys, as like a rewatch, you should pay and
Go.
see it. It's incredible experience. And then on a whole different level, Deadpool and Wolverine was just super fun.
Fun-filled movie.
I don't know if it really even needed to be involved in the MCU, to be honest.
No.
But it was just fun.
That was a movie for the fans. I think
You can
that's the
critique
easiest
things from
way.
it because obviously there are issues, but just super fun film.
For sure. I would agree with that. Deadpool versus Wolverine is definitely one of my top movies 2024. Another one that I would highly recommend to anyone is The Wild Robot.
Oh, you mean the Iron Giant?
Kind of. I really enjoyed that movie. I thought the animation was beautiful.
I have heard that it's just New Age Iron Giant. That's why
Yeah,
I'm making
that's
the
pretty
meme.
well a good way to phrase it. I mean, it's based on a book trilogy, so
It looked incredible, like
the
from a-
animation is
visual standpoint. Visually stunning.
just speechless.
Story good.
Story's good.
Voice acting good.
Voice acting's good. The whole mini world they create is super interesting.
Nice.
I really enjoyed it. But yeah, did you read anything that you really enjoyed in 2024, Connor?
As opposed to manga?
Opposed to manga, something outside of manga.
Yeah, I finally read the Percy Jackson series. Well, the original series, I guess you would say, like the first 5 books.
Percy Jackson,
That was a promise from the previous-
2023, I think.
Yeah, previous year. I kind of read them all in 1 month.
You really did. Because I asked him, like, oh, have you read? And you're like, yeah, I think I finished. You're like, I finished the first book. And then 3 weeks later, you're like, yeah, so I'm on the last book now. And I was like, wow, you just couldn't put it down, eh?
So yeah, I read 1 to 5, which means obviously when we go into looking forward to, we might have something else coming. But yeah, it's just so now I did read book 1 before the
season 1 of the show
came out, so that I could have something to compare to when we did our episode. I did actually reread a couple parts of it before diving into book 2, just to kind of get back into it, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, finally watched it. So if you have any questions for me, Percy Jackson, I know we did have some people that were waiting for my opinion.
Yeah.
So
this is it. This is your time, guys.
I'll leave. You can put some comments in the YouTube if you want. Spotify also has comments, or just ask them it right on Discord, and I'll answer those questions in a future episode, because there's just too much to dive into. I feel like it needs to be more specific,
for sure.
Certain things I liked or whatnot. But I will say overall the series was pretty good. I think it may have suffered a bit from overhype in terms of, one, it is obviously a book made for younger kids.
Mid-grade novel, ages 9 to 12.
So there are obviously some things when you're reading that as an adult where you're just like, and the repetitiveness of some
for sure
things you expect, obviously.
Yeah.
So that maybe took away. I can definitely see, though, as a kid reading this, why people love it, and it just stick like similar to Harry Potter, that it just sticks with them. They just love it, and I totally see why.
It's one of my favorite series growing up.
Also, just Greek gods are cool.
Freaking love Greek. I think Rick Riordan does a really good way of breaking down the simplicity of Greek mythology and bringing it to.
He has a very good way of making it simple, fun, and also just. He also integrates a lot of them, a lot of gods.
He does. It's not just your core 12. Like, there's some real.
He had some fun little monsters as well, like tip of the hat, if you will, to some monsters, which is nice to see. And some cool weapons of his own making, magical items and stuff.
Riptide. Cool.
But yeah, that was fun. So, anything else you'd like to add, Matt?
I mean, I got a whole list.
You have a whole list?
I got a whole list here. Yeah.
Go on.
We'll speed through. Obviously, slowly stepping outside my classic animes.
Yeah.
Outside of just shonen, thanks to the anime of the month, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a little bit after this in the episode.
But you've been watching some stuff outside.
Yeah, even that, like Spy Family is still kind of that shonen feel.
Yep.
But it's more on the comedy aspect.
Yeah, it's definitely still a shonen,
one.
But it's got a little bit of that wholesome, fun, slice of life comedy.
Yeah, successfully watched 2 seasonals without falling behind too much, which was good.
Wow, we got
so small goals. All right,
setting these bars real low.
Hey, small victories are still victories. Oogie Boogie Villainous expansion came out, and I was able to play it, which is super fun. Because those who don't know, Disney Villainous is one of my favorite board games.
Matt does love Disney Villainous.
Love me that, and I love Disney in general. So I went through.
Wow, there you go, shilling for the big studio.
I love the concept of Disney characters. I'll stick with that. I don't like Disney as a whole.
That was my favorite comment of the year. The one that said we're sellouts to Disney.
Yeah.
I don't know where that money is, but we're huge.
We're waiting. We're waiting. I finished up a really cool book series written by Serena Valentino, which is all about the Disney villains from their point of view before and after their movie.
The ones with the cool covers and the
really
cool inner
covers
jackets and whatnot.
Yeah, which I'm so tempted to make a short about. They're so neat. So that's a big thing. And then we tried the G.I. Joe campaign. So
how'd that go?
RPG. I thought it was really good. We did 3 sessions. It was a lot of fun. It was with our regular Power Ranger group, except I was a player this turn. Which, honestly...
Do you prefer being a player?
I prefer being a DM.
You just like that power, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. I think going into being that concept of being a forever DM and then having the chance to step out of it and being a player, I felt lost.
It's a nice change of pace, though.
It is a nice change of pace, but I definitely felt lost because I was like, okay. Like, I did my best to separate because, like, I'm sitting there as a player. I'm like, okay, so if I was a DM, I'd probably want to do this or maybe I'd do this.
Yeah, you can't think of it like that.
It's not my play, so I had to shut that down first time I did that. But yeah, speaking of that, a big win for me personally is Power Rangers surpassed 30 sessions.
Nice.
Which
you guys should be very happy. If you're a Power Ranger, part of the Power Ranger campaign, this man stresses the heck out over setting up some of your sessions. So you guys should appreciate this man, especially some of the decisions you people make. You put this guy through the ringer. He comes back and he's just like, Connor,
They killed off one of my new mini bosses.
He's all like, this was my plan, and this is what
They
they
kidnapped
did.
the wrong people.
And they did this. Like, what am I supposed to do?
It's so. What am I supposed to do when someone summons a sentient being in the middle of combat? Insane.
But
I
hey,
love
it's what
them.
makes the story fun.
They keep me on my toes. They always do crazy things, and I love them for it. I think it's really great. Shout out to all my Power Ranger friends. You guys kill it every session. I'm super excited to continue the story with you guys. Moving on now. That's 2024. That's yesterday.
That's
That's
old
literally
news.
yesterday. We're moving into tomorrow and today of 2025. Connor, what are some things you're looking forward towards in 2025?
So, I'm a pretty big person of I just go with the flow.
Oh yeah, your list is a lot smaller than mine.
I'm very go with the flow. So I'd say big things I'm looking forward to is the second season of Percy Jackson.
Yep.
Especially now that I'm all caught up. I'm actually kind of sad that I can't just like spam through
I
an
know.
already existing library. So me and Matt are gonna watch the old movies. So
I'm so pumped just to see your reaction to just be like, why would they make this decision? So early
that's
on?
exciting. So there's gonna be I think there'll be a lot of early discussions about Percy Jackson
For
stuff
sure,
this
yeah.
year. I am excited for the return of Fantastic Four, with seeing how the MCU handles it. Obviously, this is also it's not the return of the MCU, but it's the return to the status quo of how many things are coming out in a year.
Yes. We discussed that on an earlier episode back in November, I think, of discussing how much stuff's coming out in 2025. And we only covered the first
Yeah, that's
6
the
months
one where
of
we're called
Marvel.
out for being
Yeah.
chills, if you will. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Fantastic Four. I'm a little bit more nervous about Captain America now with how many multiple times they've done reshoots and how
yeah.
they seem to be really aggressively re-editing based on the preview audiences and stuff.
I
the
think
test
they don't
audiences.
want to mess it up.
They really don't, but I feel like the more you keep changing stuff from test audiences, the more likely you are to make it even worse.
Yeah, I am worried about that for sure.
So that's a little bit scary, but I'm interested to see how the Fantastic Four, since we know it takes place in a different universe, is going to be a little bit more
Yeah,
old
like
school.
modern
I'm kinda
60s or something
and-
weird.
We got to see Doctor Doom in that, right?
I don't think so.
You don't think we see him? I think we see him,
If we do, it's post credit.
which is fine. I'm
But-
not saying he's the villain.
Mhm, okay.
I'm saying we will see Doctor Doom. First look at Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. What is he? Is he masked Doctor Doom? Is he already like full out?
Doctor Doom,
Yeah.
Doctor Doom. Is
Like,
it the return of
or is
Tony
it-
Stark somehow? Alternate
Yeah,
timeline.
is it an alternate version
There's
of Tony
so many
Stark?
different options
So-
to do it.
Interested to see what he ends up being is a big thing there, and how they handle the combination of, because the thing is now with different universes, they don't really have to ever be involved with the MCU. You could just have that film be pretty much separate and just be like, well, when we want that universe to be involved, we'll just have the event that involves that universe.
Yeah.
Which is both kind of a cop out, but also like it could make a better
It could
movie by itself.
for sure. Yeah, if it's separate from the MCU, then it will.
And I know
be
you don't
fine.
like those things.
I think at this point it's different now.
Yeah,
To
that's
me,
valid.
like at the end of Endgame / the most recent Spider-Man movie, that was kind of like the epilogue of everything, if you want to say it that way. We've come so far of like so many different plot lines that to me it's more confusing now if they start interconnecting.
Yeah, it's nice to have movies that can just hold their own as, hey, this is a Fantastic Four film. You don't need to watch any of the MCU
Exactly.
to enjoy it. So, interested to see how they do it, if that's the way or not. Superman is kind of the start, if you will, of...
The James Gunn verse.
Yeah. It's not technically the start, but it's the first big one that people are really going to have their
Yeah.
eyes on.
Exactly.
So, we'll see how that...
Make it or break it for the DCU.
Yeah, we'll see how that kicks off. And then also GTA 6, don't think I'll be playing it because I have a computer and it's not coming out for a PC. But it's coming out. It's a huge game. We'll see. Maybe I will end up getting a next-gen console just to play it. It could be that good. But yeah, other than that, there's nothing too crazy. Obviously, we have a lot of Marvel content. I just put Fantastic Four as like that's the one I'm the most interested in.
I mean, I'm intrigued to see the return of Daredevil.
Yeah, Return of
Seeing
Daredevil
how
will be
Disney
interesting.
will kind of deal with that. That's a big thing. I think obviously, yeah, there's a lot coming out for the MCU. I'm surprised you didn't have this here. Should be coming out tomorrow or the next day from this release of the episode, I believe, is the animated Spider-Man show.
Oh, yeah.
So that one will be interesting. I'm not necessarily like overly excited for it. I'm more intrigued by it.
I haven't watched any animated Marvel content
outside
in a while.
of X-Men 97.
Yeah.
Um,
So we'll see. Maybe
we'll
will
see.
check it
Yeah,
out.
I'm intrigued by it. I'm not like super excited for it personally.
Well, what are you super excited for?
like super excited? Well, I mean, I gotta mention anime just briefly here. Is Beastars season 3 part 2?
Going on right
Um,
now.
Yeah,
well,
all
actually,
all
it
of part
came-
1
all-
was released.
All of it came out early December.
Yeah.
So if you were to watch it weekly, technically you would still be watching it.
Exactly. Some big movies that aren't MCU. Obviously, Superman. I'm intrigued. Other ones I'm super excited for is the live action How to Train Your Dragon. If it does well,
Yeah, I
if
don't know how I feel.
It's I'm more excited than not excited for it.
Part of me is like, do we really need 'cause it's so well done.
Yeah,
Do
that
we
is the
need a live
downside.
action of that?
people will want it. And one I'm actually really excited for is Tron 3.
You're
Not
excited for Tron
not
3?
excited about the director, but I really enjoyed Tron Legacy. I think the soundtrack, like Daft Punk, killed it.
Yeah, I mean, great
So,
choice.
I am so pumped to see. Like, we've seen some stills from Tron 3, and it looks really cool.
That's
really
something you
fun.
have to nail, though, right?
Oh,
For Tron.
when you do like sequels, so like however many years in between, you got
visuals have to be good for Tron in general, though.
Oh yeah, they are. That is specific to the fanciness, right? I'm excited for more villain expansions. Another big movie, if this actually comes out, is Now You See Me 3, which I don't know if you've seen these movies or not.
I've seen the first Now You See Me.
So yeah, so the second one came out a while back too. That one has Daniel Radcliffe in it.
Yes.
Obviously. But that movie franchise just has such a, to me, like an A tier, like cast. Like individually
Yeah.
they're good on their own, but collectively, like Mark Ruffalo,
You've
Morgan
enjoyed how
Freeman,
they've
Jesse Eisenberg
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And obviously, I'm not getting my hopes up. I don't even have this on the list. If the Avatar movie comes out, probably won't. We'll get pushed back inevitably.
yeah.
Percy Jackson season 2, a movie that comes out tomorrow as the release of this is the Wallace and Gromit film.
If you don't know, Matt is a huge Wallace and Gromit
Love
film
Aardman
fan.
Studios.
He loves the
Stop motion,
stop
baby.
motion is one of Matt's favorites.
Like
he has a
yeah.
lot of respect for the craft.
Yeah, that is the one part of the film industry that I am just like amazed entirely. Every time I watch,
It's impressive. It's extremely
Chef's
impressive.
kiss. Then moving on to books, because actually, no, one more thing about shows / movies. One that I'm like, okay, is
Huh?
Suits LA. Like
yeah,
Stephen Amell.
I'm watching Suits LA.
I will be watching it. I'm not getting my hopes up.
Stephen
like-
Amell, for me, I can't. I mean, it's so hard to not see him as Oliver Queen, which I'm
Yeah.
sure is a problem, like for him too, where he's like, I want to be able to do whatever. Seeing when you think of Suits, like
Yeah.
can you picture Stephen Amell as a character having like a conversation with Harvey Specter?
No, because he's just being Oliver Queen.
I know,
Like to me, like you put him in a suit, I'm like, oh, he's the business version of Oliver Queen right now. Like it's
yeah,
it's gonna
just
be hard,
not-
I think.
he's not the Arrow right now.
yeah, exactly.
But I'm excited to see how they do. I loved Suits, but
It went on for too long. I'm gonna be honest. I think
there were elements that hurt it
Yeah.
because of that, though. Not because it went long, just because of people kind of being done acting
behind the
wise with
scenes
the shows,
and stuff. Yeah.
which I think hurt it a lot. Man, I don't know. I can't remember the name of the actor for Harvey, but
He's
he
a good actor.
is unreal. And I know that he's supposed to be in episodes of this. Like,
yeah. So I'm
obvious-
happy it's not a reboot.
Yeah.
But-
We'll see just how it ends up being. I'm interested to see what kind of the main story is, or is they're just seeing how long they can just go off of following people from a firm, right? Because
Yeah.
in Suits, you're following Mike and kind of that story of he's a fraud,
Yeah. So I'm curious what the story's gonna be like
Yeah.
for them.
or if they're just kind of going off of just more. We're people from this firm. This is what
if
we
Mike
do.
gets a cameo, I'll be happy.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
But-
I'm interested. I'll be watching it for sure.
In the book realm, more Disney Twisted Tales. The next book of the Disney villain series that I really like comes out. That is Queen of Hearts.
Nice.
So we're getting into the Wonderland. A new Emily Henry book comes out, which I'm super excited about. She's one of my favorite authors in
same.
that romance novel
she's great.
area. And then the one I'm hopeful for, but I won't get my hopes up about it,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
is the newest Hunger Games book.
Oh, Matt's a Hunger Game hater.
I'm not a Hunger Games hater.
He's done with it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are.
He's done with it.
But this book, with it being like Haymitch's game,
yeah,
I'm
very-
definitely intrigued by it.
people like the character.
People like the character, but again, it's one of those things. If you don't stick the landing, well, he survives, so I guess the ending's kind of spoiled. But like,
Yeah, we know We know who wins.
It's the Rogue
How-
One of the Hunger Games universe.
How does he get there? But yeah, I look forward to the movie.
It's already in development, so
That's what I like to hear.
I hope if the movie, I'm hoping if they were to do it this way, it would be narrated by Woody Harrelson.
Why not just do the youngification of him?
Because it's not getting done by Disney. They don't have it in the budget.
You don't want to just youngify him?
No. Alrighty, Connor. What are things? That's what we're looking forward to. What are things you want to do personally?
Oh, okay.
Before we get into what
Some,
we want
like,
to do as a
goals
whole.
and
Yeah.
stuff?
What are your goals here, man?
Well, I guess personally, I obviously read more manga. I want to finish some of the series that just finish a couple series, pick up some manga that are done.
Yeah.
I think always picking up things that are still going on, you get lost. I feel like I get overwhelmed and lost where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on, what chapter am I on of this? Or how far behind? Oh yeah. And then you stop reading it because you're like, oh, I'm so far behind. Like I'll get to it. And
Some
it
just
builds up.
fall off.
Be nice to just finish some manga. So pick up some series that I can just,
Yeah.
bang out and read them. Also want to watch some more like classic anime films. I mentioned this to you before, where starting with the December anime of the month was actually one of them, which is Tokyo Godfathers.
Yep.
Which you can check out that episode, which was last week.
Yep. Yeah.
On Christmas. You can
Crazy.
check that out. But yeah, to just watch more classic anime films. I feel like I really don't have that many anime films per se under my belt, and if they are, it's like Studio Ghibli.
Some Naruto movies.
Some shonen movies, and then Shinkai films. Like,
Yeah.
there's the odd ones that are in there, but I would like to expand upon that.
That
for
makes
sure.
sense. Yeah.
So,
Sure.
speaking of which, anime of the month this month is Banana Fish. So if you want to join us, you can join the Discord. We have a spot for it for Anime of the Month where you can kind of participate in watching it with us and let us know what your thoughts are, and we'll cover that in the Anime of the Month episode. But
Which,
yeah.
by the way, we're continuing the Anime of the Month concept for our podcast here,
Yes, we will be continuing through the following year.
which is exciting. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it.
But watching anime films like classic ones, it doesn't have to necessarily be classic ones, but like stuff like like there's like Paprika. There's just a lot of older ones that people talk about too, and I just want to when people say, "Oh yeah, I've watched this," and I can be like, "Yep, me too.
The Neon Genesis Evangelion movies are.
I've seen it all. I've seen all of them. I've seen all those films."
Of course.
So I'll be trying to find some iconic films. If you guys have some recommendations, I'd be down to hear them and watch them and let you guys know what I think. And I'll probably drag Matt down that rabbit hole with me. So that'll be fun. I'll be continuing my reading of the Percy Jackson universe with the Heroes of Olympus.
Yeah, I want to know how far are you willing to go?
Well, I'm definitely willing to read the Heroes of Olympus and then jump into the Percy Jackson sequels that have come out.
Okay, yeah. So I think if you time it correctly, which ends up being honestly almost a book a month,
Okay.
you'd be able to catch up to. I think the newest
release
and
date
final
for the
book
third
should
book?
be probably October for the end of the trilogy. So if you can read 7 books in 9 months,
Which is doable.
I mean, you read 4 in a month. So, but the Heroes of Olympus are
Chunkier.
a little bit bigger.
I know that there's other things, but they're not
Pivotal.
as important
Yeah.
to the main, especially since some are just their own thing in terms of different.
Yeah, the Trials of Apollo just kind of does its own thing off to the side. The book that is a Nico adventure, that's kind of off to the side as well. And then obviously the Norse mythology, the Egyptian books. It's all in the same universe, but not directly connected.
So I'll give that. Maybe we'll see what I think. Maybe I do. Maybe I just don't end up going down the full.
Maybe
Rick
we
Rider
do a
and-
tier list later
Yeah,
this year
maybe.
about ranking them.
For sure.
But anyways.
Another big one is I'm gonna drag myself and Matt to potentially some local TCG tournaments, whether that be One Piece or Yu-Gi-Oh. We'll see what ends up happening, but I think my goal is to at least start, going out there. Obviously, we talk about TCGs every now and then.
Yeah.
We have good way to potentially play with some future audience members. You never know, or potential audience members already.
Whoop.
And yeah, the last thing would be I have started
This is big news
creating
for
the
you.
breadcrumbs, if you will, of a story of my own creation.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I won't give anything away on it, but I'm just going to say at this moment, it's just some creative writing.
It's pretty cool. That's all I'm going to say. I like the idea.
And hopefully be able to expand and go through my own learning process of how to write a story,
For sure.
and well, we'll see how far I get and how it ends up. So that's kind of that's a big one.
It's a big one.
We'll see how it goes.
Exactly. I think I believe in you.
It's also a better way of killing time sometimes than just watching
Really is.
anime and stuff. Something different,
I agree.
something of your own creation instead of
It's a good feeling.
yeah, for sure. It's complicated. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be figured out before the true writing, if you will, begins.
Yep.
But I have shared it to Matt and some other close individuals, and people seem to like it so far. The idea,
The idea is
the idea and
definitely-
concept is thumbs up.
Mhm.
So hopefully I can follow through and make something cool.
Exactly.
How about you, Matt?
Oh boy, oh boy. You say you want to finish more manga. I want to finish some more big animes.
More big anime.
I gotta finish up Attack on Titan. I
Yeah,
got
that's crazy.
Mob Psycho. I just started recently watching.
What do you think so far?
I enjoy it so far. It's fun.
Super fun.
It's
yeah.
I think fun is the easiest way. At the point of recording, I'm only a couple episodes in, but
Yep.
I'm enjoying it so far. I really need to watch Vinland Saga season 2.
Yeah, it's worth knowing that Matt both kind of is into, mythology and old. He likes Vikings, but he also loves indigenous culture. And it's a story of the Vikings coming.
I think I'm scared for some reason. Like I'm just like I don't know, but I will be watching it soon. That's the
Yep.
plan.
then you'll be reading
And
it
I'll be reading it.
because
Um,
unfortunately they don't get to know indigenous
Yeah.
people yet.
And
Yet.
then Clanad. I'm gonna watch Clanad. This is like some of the next few big ones. Clanad's not like a big one, but Clanad's
It's a
kind
big
of
one.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. It's one of my favorites.
I know.
Planet After Story.
To me, that's why
one
it's a
of
big
Connor's
thing.
all-time favorites.
You heard it here, folks. Reach out to more anime genres that aren't shonen / read more that aren't really battle shonen y.
Yeah, from
Um,
this year's anime of the month, we did go through a couple different genres. What was your favorite non-Matt kind of one that you wouldn't have watched on your own?
Ochi the Rock.
Ochi the Rock.
On the top of my head, like I know
It
later.
was very relatable in a lot of
Very
ways.
relatable, really good. I think spoiler alert, in a couple weeks we'll be doing an episode where we do a tier list
Go into
for
in depth on our
the 2024 anime of
anime
the
month.
months. So I'm super excited about that. But on the top of my head, Bocchi the Rock, definitely traditionally out of my comfort zone.
really good.
So
Good,
I do
relatable.
recommend that one for sure. I want to finish up the Percy Jackson series / universe this year.
Slacker. Can you imagine this guy? Not caught up.
This guy. That's a big one. I'm also hoping to read more Marvel and DC comics that are more individually focused. Like I've read
Yes,
so
you
many
have
Justice
mentioned that
League.
before. A lot of team ups, a lot of big event
Yeah.
style
So
stories.
like over the last month or so in December, I read a couple Thor comics, which was like the first appearance of Gore the God Butcher. Currently I'm reading an Iron Man comic, and I've sent you a few panels
Yeah.
of like his 3D printed goop
Makes sense.
Iron Man costume.
Why not?
Costume.
Costume, yeah, Iron Man
armor.
costume. Yeah.
I'm also hoping this year to play more TCGs with Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously with you in the group. I've been wanting to just bust out my old Pokemon decks just to, play around with them. Obviously we do One Piece from time to time.
Hunter, one of our friends, plays
Mhm.
Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. Maybe we'll have him teach us.
Yeah, that could be good. I mean, I do remember how to play Pokemon. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the one that I'm like,
And our friend Evan plays Magic.
which is something I unfortunately made the decision to slowly get into.
And then
Lorcana, I think
do
I'm
we
moving
know anyone
on.
that plays One Piece other than us?
No,
Dang.
it's just us. That's what we
Troy-
bring to the table.
Troy from Nerd Missile Gaming dabbles.
He dabbles.
He dabbles.
But we got
He doesn't
somebody for
hate it.
Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! We're the One Piece guys. You're the One Piece guy. I'm really bad at it.
Well, you've played it
But-
more than anyone else I know.
It's true.
Hopefully you could beat them.
I hope so. Other personal projects. I want to try and do some more filmmaking. Obviously, in one of my jobs, I do marketing and social media. That's something I
Nice.
should probably mention for 2024. Started another job, mostly more in my field.
He's always jobbing
Exciting.
it up.
I'm always jobbing it up. But I do want to do more filmmaking just for personal stuff. Outside of just the podcast and stuff, like I've always had a creative thing. I've done documentaries in the past, commercials, safe training videos and stuff. But I really want to just get back into doing some of my own personal stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Attempt to publish the poetry book finally. Because
Yeah,
that's
the
something I
poetry
wanted
book.
to do in 2024, but unfortunately did not go through with it.
Now, is that due to
Just rewrites and rewrites and
rewrites,
just
okay.
and then it's one of those things. It became so overwhelming for me in the summer that I was like, okay, I just need to put it down. And then about a month or so ago, I got back into it. I printed it out, literally red penned
Nice.
it up, and I was like, hey, so this is the next step. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I'll be able to publish this in 2025 because I think that's going to be huge for me personally.
Nice.
Like, even if it doesn't sell well, I think it's just something I've always wanted to have, is a book published at some point,
For sure.
which goes into the next two things. Work on the fictional world I started years ago. Years ago, I remember making a map for it, and I think we used to talk about it when we worked together back in the day. So I want to revisit that, and then get better with time management. That's a big one for me.
Fair enough. I mean, respect.
And then in capital letters, I have computer.
Oh, yeah. You want to
Which-
start playing on a computer.
Want to
Computer
start
games.
slowly.
We'll get there.
Getting there, which ties
Halfway there.
there. And so that's my personal goals. That's your personal goals. Now, as a whole, what do we on the Misfit Island of the Nerdy Misfits, a.k.a. you and I and friends, what do we want to accomplish?
Well, first of all, we do have a couple things in the works. Big thing in the works is we do have some shorts that we have recorded, we're working on, and through the future, we also hope to continue releasing more short form content. Obviously, it's a very, very big thing on YouTube, TikTok, etc.
Mhm.
So
Some of those shorts, without going into too much details, we got some blind rankings. We got gaming shorts, which are already coming out, podcast shorts, which are already coming up, but we want to kind of get more of those out. And then I have this anime dice rolling short thing.
that's
That-
in the process.
That's in the process. Potentially some card pack openings, but don't get your hopes up.
We'll see.
We'll see. There's a lot potentially down the rabbit hole that we're working on to see what's going to stick, what's not going to stick, et cetera, et cetera. Another big thing is obviously continuing with the anime of the month, which we've kind of already
Yes.
discussed a bit.
What?
What?
Excuse you? We discussed a bit. Yeah, we'll be continuing doing the anime of the month through. It could be movies, it could be shows.
24 eps, 13 eps, 12 eps, et cetera. 3
yeah,
movies.
How many video eps do we have out? 6 or 7, right?
For which, sorry?
For anime of the month for last year.
I think 6 at least. June or
So,
July, I think we
You have
started doing
6
the
to check
Anime
out
Wars.
and see how it's done. We'd love to get some more input from you guys. On
There's
the
an anime
of the
that
month.
we have not watched yet, or we've not even simply mentioned on the podcast. Let us know.
What we should watch.
What should we be watching next?
Yeah, and then also we have the Nerdy Misfit Gaming channel, which we will continue to support. Hopefully, May and Matt will maybe get to tune in every now and then to be part of potentially some fun.
Yep.
And you can see us along with Troy and Eddie. Maybe we have some other friends like Gray come on, and yeah, look forward to supporting both channels. We also have a Play channel.
What?
It's
made.
It's
We
a
got
made
6
channel.
subscribers.
There's nothing on it.
Nothing on it yet.
Potentially, it will be used for RPG systems, board games, potentially some TCG content. We'll see. I would say our goal is to potentially have a video.
A video in 2025.
On it.
That's the plan.
It's kind of Matt's baby in terms of it's just a matter of hanging out with his friends, but getting a place that works for recording.
Exactly.
Because we hope to bring a shorter form of those board game content into the Nerdy Misfits, where Matt can kind of break down a game, give it a quick review, and be like, "Hey, if you want to see how the game plays out, check out the gaming the
Exactly.
Play channel, and you can see how the game works." And he'll do more of a quick guide, if you will, or quick
Yeah.
little discussion about the game and rate it for you guys. So hopefully we'll see something like that on the channel.
Fingers
Obviously,
crossed.
guests we hope to have on, both big and small.
Yep.
We'll be sending out some emails.
Expect the return of Troy. Expect the return of Eddie.
Gray.
Expect the return of Gray.
Yep.
You know, those are the 3 big hitters right now. They'll be back on from time to time.
For sure, but we're hoping to have new people.
Exactly.
And also hopefully have their audience see us, but also for you guys to maybe get introduced to someone you didn't know that maybe you'll like. So
Which is
we'll see.
huge.
We'll see how it goes. And then a big one that we've discussed, which we haven't mentioned yet, is we're planning to do a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, mostly within our
Core friend group.
core friend group involving the Nerdy Misfit Gaming, which will be around the Tengen plant format, which is in 2011. So look forward to that. It'll be a big project we're taking on, though.
But it'll be a lot of fun. Sick dab.
Sick tab.
It will be a lot of fun once it's up and going. It'll be a lot of editing for me, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited for it. You guys should be excited for it. For those who are playing in the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, good luck.
Prepare yourself.
Prepare yourself. You should be excited for it too. But yeah, I think the other big thing is we kind of mentioned this already, but more digestible content, breaking down our podcast into smaller vids, segments, make it
So, yeah.
easier for
And
you guys to.
Some of our videos, our podcast styles don't work for this, and some do. The main thing is we're going to hopefully bring more short form content, and that goes one for obviously just being discovered, getting more eyes on us, hopefully.
Yeah.
But also more digestible bits for you guys to just see highlights. If you haven't seen the full podcast. But the biggest one is we want to release maybe 5 to 10 minute videos because the podcasts are long. This episode is roughly 40 something minutes.
Yep.
And we would love to be able to start releasing, for the podcast to make sense for, 10-minute-ish segments for someone to just be like, hey, that's interesting to me.
Let's
You
click
may
on
not
that.
know we talked about it in a podcast episode, and you can watch that specific thing.
Exactly.
And if you want to see more from that podcast because you really liked it,
Jump to that full episode.
that link will be in the description for you guys to check out. I think that's pretty much it though for goals, things going on with us with the Nerdy Misfits.
But wait, I got something still.
You got something?
Yeah. Now, a year ago, we did this episode 87. And that whole episode, we talked about different goals that we were going to do in 2024. Some of them we finished. Some of them we didn't finish.
Yep.
So things I got to know, Connor. Okay, back from that episode. Did you make a beef Wellington?
Hard to say.
Did you make a brisket?
I did make brisket.
Did you make coconut cream pie?
I have made coconut cream pie, but I didn't make one this year.
Fair. Did you make ramen from scratch?
No, I didn't do the ramen.
All right. I just had to know some of those.
Did make a brisket. It was good. I don't know. I mean, compared to people that have brisket all the time, how it would compare, but I would say it was damn good. The beef Wellington, as of recording this, no, but potentially
yes.
Potentially a yes.
Fair enough. I got a few more questions for you. Did you finish Baldur's Gate 3?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. And at the beginning of the episode in 2024, there was a few things that you were looking forward to, and just quick yes or no, did they pay off? Ending of JJK.
No.
Heading to Alabath in One Piece.
Yes.
Watching Dan to Dan.
Yes.
And now this one, I don't think this is true, but you were looking forward to the ending of Vinland Saga.
Yes, I don't believe the ending has come out yet.
No.
But we're very, 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 very close.
Which is crazy.
And it'll be sad when it's over because it's a fantastic story.
That's how I feel about One Piece.
Did you write down yours or you're just trolling me?
No, I have questions for me, and it's, did you reread Percy Jackson? No. Did we sit down and watch the Percy Jackson movie? No. Did I
But
learn-
we will.
But
This
we
year
will. This year, we will. Did I ever play the game Legendary that I was super excited about that I bought, that Marvel card game that no, didn't do that either.
Oh, wait.
Did I make more indigenous short films? No. Did I publish the poetry book? No. Did I be less self-deprecating? No. A little bit. Be less of a yes man. No, because yes.
Sure.
Getting more into fandoms you aren't familiar with. Matt with reading manga. Connor with reading Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
We did that.
True.
We tried Lorcana.
We tried different anime that we don't usually watch as well.
Read some big comic book stories here and there. We didn't do a video of different TMNT animation comparisons, but that's okay.
Dang, that would have been a good thing to
That would've been a
do.
good
Why don't we
one.
do that?
Random fact of the episode button for random facts every episode that I just stopped after 3 episodes last year.
I didn't even realize that was a thing.
That was a
'cause
thing.
You
We
did
did
not, you
for
didn't
like
keep it
3
going long
episodes.
enough.
I know,
for my own brain to remember.
Exactly. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening throughout the year of 2024. Thank you so much for continuing us to support us in our insanity of the Nerdy Misfits here. Shout out to everyone that has watched, listened, comment, subscribe, joined our Linktree, Discord, etc.
Been on the episodes.
Thank you guys so much. We greatly appreciate the constant support that we get from you guys, and we're super excited to continue and grow, stay strong, etc., all through 2025.
And share just our passion.
Exactly.
Our passion for nerdy content. Honestly,
You know,
like
I always think about to the very first episode and
Yeah.
how cringe and awkward
Oh,
we
it was
were.
bad.
And then I think back to the episode we never released.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's
There's
just,
a lot.
We've
We have
we've
our
grown.
own lore going on.
We
now.
do, and it's crazy. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your constant support. We love you guys.
We really do.
And we'll see you next Wednesday for another episode of the Nerdy Misfit podcast.
See you next Wednesday. And all of 2025.
Exactly. Bye.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast. Don't forget to join the island by dropping a follow. Thank you, and see you next week.